I knew it. I freaking knew it. All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the week 3 Swolecast here on rotogrinders.com. I'm David Kitchen, joined by Dan Gasper, Mr. Tuttle 05, joined by Davis Mattek, and joined by one of the hardest working guys that there is, Peter Overzet. Peter, how's it going?
Going good. Just another day at the office. Had to throw the hard hat on, ready to hand build some lineups, take down some more showdown slates. Just the usual, Dave.
Yeah. What's the front of your hard hat say? Work hard?
What does it say?
Work zone.
You guys have entered the work zone.
Here's the thing, Peter, to my knowledge, does not have any kids. So, like, where did you score this outfit?
Buddy, he Amazon Primed it. Yeah.
I think I messaged Dave. I was like, my costume arrived.
Yeah. I was wondering where you would go with it, but the fact that you didn't have it when you first, I like how you wanted to surprise us. Like that's
I can't have, the reaction ruined 5 minutes before the show.
We're just like the chat, just like people watching this, listening to this in their cars. So we appreciate that. And we're going to work hard for everyone. The hand builders really showed up last week. We got a ton of response. Davis, what's your takeaway? Because you found out on the show that people build lineups by hand. And then as the week goes on, more and more people start to come out. So what's your takeaway now about the line builders as opposed to maybe last week?
My DFS privilege was blinding me. I was so deep in this world of all my buddies and everything I talk about is playing lots of lineups and rules and correlated key boosts. And that is just not the experience that most people have with DFS, which is crazy. Though I didn't want to spoil it before the show. I was able to get in contact with Nicole Valencia, who works on the tech side at RotoGrinders. And, Pete, I hate to do this to you in front of everyone, but she was able to match your RotoGrinders account with a lineup HQ run that matched the winning lineup from your lineup.
You guys are breaking
on Sunday night.
I can't hear you, Devin. I think we're having technical difficulties. I can't hear anything. I think they just asked me about my big showdown win. It is pretty incredible to hand build 60 lineups on back-to-back Sunday night, Monday night slates, finish first essentially in a 60,000 person field back-to-back nights, something no one on this show will ever accomplish in their lifetimes. And to do it with my bare hands is just, I think it speaks to how much work I've put in as a hand builder over the years, and the fruits of my labor are finally paying off. Thank you guys. I appreciate that.
All right. I first of all, David for corporate, Davis is just kidding. Second of all, Peter, there is some real shady business going on here with all these lineups. I don't know how you could possibly work that hard and still have hands.
That's a lot of lineups, man.
Tuttle said it. He said, you don't have kids. I mean, I just got all I have is time.
60, man.
60, dude. I once tried hand building. I once tried hand building 3 lineups, and I just gave up.
I started cramping.
This is just a distraction that Davis doesn't want people to realize that I am the preeminent showdown thought leader now. All of the other people are done, and I'm the new king. I actually got a message from Drewby yesterday, and he said I was the new king. So it's the truth hurts, guys.
All right. Speaking of the truth hurting, we had the listener league last week, and remember we had some qualifiers for this listener league. We had Frank Gore lineup had to cash. One lineup had to have the top lineup with Visca in it. We had 2 Titans receivers. This is before Corey Davis was even out, and then we had Jets D. Who had Jets D? Tuttle, is that you?
Yeah.
Boring. Well, we got some. We had the listener league. Tuttle, you did not enter the listener league, and I just want to say I am shocked. This is Davis level ineptitude from you.
No, I would never mess up. I would never pass up on a soft game.
I mean, save myself $5 in the embarrassment.
I haven't even
of losing
looked at your lineup, Davis. I don't think it was that soft, was it?
I just put my cash lineup in.
All right, so
It was too many clicks to do more than that, Pete.
214.
A hand-built lineup in the Swolecast Listener League by Davis Mattek.
214 for Matt _ Pelkey. And he was...
You got the Jets.
Yeah.
And
Jetsy
Visco.
and LaVisca.
All right.
So shout out to him. He came in third total. I do want to say that I did cash in this, as did Peter Overzet. Pete, you had a good week as well. However, looking at this lineup, you were the only host to not use any of the props. No Jets D. I used 2 Titans receivers. You basically manipulated the Listener League for your plus EV.
Yep. I set everyone up to zig, and then old hand builder Galaxy Brain Peter sets up the zag there. I did finish in 7th place. And that's the thing, whether it's a main slate, whether it's single entry, whether it's a listener league, whether it's showdown. There really isn't a game type that I haven't conquered these days.
All right. So Matt _ Pelkey, you get a shirt, Mycon Show 52. I think that's the same Mycon Show that calls us the Giggle Gang.
Giggle Gang.
Let me tell you this: the people that tune into this show wanting like the Silva show, they are tilting their faces off right now.
And then we're going to give one to Aji Kalano because he almost cashed with the Frank Gore, but he literally played all 4 props and got 153. So you shouldn't get a shirt, Aji, but we want to. Also, shout out to Nate Noling for being one of the worst people in this league with a 105.74. We appreciate you, Nate. Thanks for being the rake. All right.
Before we wrap up kind of the rear view mirror, I would like an apology on behalf of all of us for Derrick Henry, who we all played for the first time.
Thank you for being brave enough to say it.
Yeah. Can you apologize for the one time we finally play your guy? He just shits the bed.
No, I'm not going to apologize. You guys don't understand the brilliance that is Derrick Henry. And you could have been like me and went Galaxy Brain in the Daily Fantasy Accuracy Cup and played Saquon instead of Derrick Henry, which was even worse. So just be glad that you didn't play Saquon. I want an apology from Tuttle and from Davis for scoffing and immediately waving my Tannehill and Cash play.
I mean,
sometimes
it was beyond bad. Kyler scored like 10 more points than him.
Sometimes the bad plays get there. How many?
He didn't get there because if you played him instead of Kyler, you got less points and you're an idiot.
Their salary wasn't the same.
On
FanDuel.
All right,
Kitchen, you can't pull that one over on me anymore because I play on FanDuel now.
I know, but he still was one of the best points per dollar plays and allowed you to get all the high price studs like Devontae Adams.
If I tell you he's going to throw the ball 24 times.
This is what he did last year too.
Yeah, but do you play?
Yeah, if you tell Kitchen that, he's like, oh, he beat his baseline. I'm all in.
It was January season. I mean, 4 touchdowns. I don't know what else you want. Anyways, there were some people. Obviously, last week was just pure carnage, and even some of the hand builders went down because of all the injuries. And there was one guy who, in our chat, solicited for lineups. And Pete, go ahead and what was the direct message? He sent on a few different ones.
Yeah, so our comments are normally a pretty fun place, but this guy came in hot. And Matt Lewis goes, winning lineups, top 10% finish, FanDuel or DraftKings, and then he gave his number, just pasted his number right in there.
Yeah.
And right before the show, I messaged him on my burner iMessages iPhone, and I said, hey, looking to get a winning lineup. He immediately responded. I mean, like scary quick, said, what slate and sport, $10 via Cash App or Venmo. So I think today I need some suggestions from you guys. What's my play here now?
I think you ask him if there is anything higher than a $10 package that he has, like that you really need help after coming off a really bad week last week.
All right. Do you have any larger packages I need to win a big one.
Tell them that
Big
the
and all
robot,
caps.
the robot optimizers screwed you, and you're looking for a nice hand-built lineup.
You know, I want a sneak peek. I want a sneak peek of some sort.
Yeah, we will. What's our budget for this bit, Dave?
Are you gonna transcend if he sends you a lineup with Laird and Chenault in it for Thursday night?
Yeah, I will. I mean, Thursday night showdown.
We're asking for showdown, right? Thursday night showdown.
I think second half Thursday night showdown advice.
I think asking if there's a deluxe package.
Yeah. All right, I'll keep you guys posted as this develops, and maybe at the end of the show we'll get him on the horn.
All right. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them in the YouTube chat, on our YouTube video. If you're watching this later, make sure that you subscribe so that you get the notifications we're live, and also subscribe on iTunes. As far as this week goes, we had lots of injuries. Davis, what's your take on all the value that's out there? Is it good value, good chalk, or not?
I think it's all fake value.
Value.
I think all the two spots I see as really opening up are KJ Hamler for just the dead min on DraftKings, and Michael Pittman Jr. being the other guy at 4,000. I think that we've already heard it, right? So it's Wednesday, and we've already heard the beat writers saying Jeff Wilson Jr. is going to lead the 49ers in carries. They are going to call JaMychal Hasty up from the practice squad. Obviously, no one's wanting to play Dion Lewis, Wayne Gallman. Seems like Devonta Freeman is probably even going to be active for the Giants this week.
And if the 49ers beat writers or the coaches say it, then it has to be true.
Well, I think the usage kind of shows it as well, because he's ran 29 routes in both week 1 and week 2, I believe, and has only got 3 carries in each week. So I actually kind of think that. And we see this happen all the time where one guy gets down, he stays in his role, and then the other guys fill in the other roles. Like this literally, Tuttle will back me up on this. This is like the tried and true NFL playbook.
Yeah, I'm actually shocked that Davis is coming in with a measured stance about.
Well, I just thought after the Jordan Reed incident last week, where they were talking about only 10 snaps, going to ramp them up a little bit.
Well, that was just a lot.
Touchdowns at half.
What can you do?
Hey, he did only do 28. I think it was only 28 snaps. He just absolutely smashed.
Smash City. Pete, what kind of, as far
Pete hates this Mike Pittman take. Go to him for the Mike Pittman take.
Hey, I hate to derail the show with this, but I got to give you an update on our lineup seller.
Yeah.
So I said, do you have any larger packages? I need to win a big one. And he goes, put my lineup in a single entry contest and you'll win big. And then he goes, I charge subscribers $10 a lineup or $50 for life.
Ooh, $50 for life?
Can we please dip into the Swolecast budget to become a lifelong subscriber of Mike the lineup seller?
Yes. You can probably take it out of your salary.
But if you send it to him and he sees like your name, he's going to instantly know.
I don't know. Do you think he's a spammer or a Swolecast? Hang on. Let me ask him if he watches the Swolecast.
No, don't. He's going to be.
Can't give it away. Can't give it away.
You can't. That just gives it away. You're the worst Chris Hansen ever.
Well, we're crowdsourcing. What's my next move?
You got to hype him up a little bit. Be like, oh, shit, man. That sounds great.
Oh, shit, dude. Sick as hell.
There you go. There you go. I don't know what to ask him next, but that's a good start.
Ask him if it comes with any on-phone consultations.
Yes, there you
go. If the
go,
lifelong member.
Do you do any phone consultations?
All right.
So we're good. Sorry. Yeah, I don't like Michael Pittman. I don't know why. Davis tried to say that he's this year's AJ Brown, and I almost vomited.
I have Michael Pittman on my Scott Fishbowl team, which is
okay.
14th.
I was about to say you're legally barred from discussing your best ball teams, but you want Scott Fishbowl, so it's okay.
No, it's the 14th overall ranked team among all the Scott Fishbowl teams, one spot above Tom Everett Scott. So me and TES just holding the fort.
Our boy Amico is top 10.
Yeah, El Jefe is number 1. So just a bunch of sharps in the top 15, really. All right.
Pete not doing so hot. Lost Barkley. That's what he put his hard hat on and he went to work on the waivers.
Listen to Dale. It's like I have like a 500 or 5,000% ROI this week, and Davis wants to talk about me losing a running back in the free charity league. You just can't let me have
A
one.
5,000% ROI. I'd like to see the math on that, sir.
Ask Nicole since you've been talking with her.
No, she
We're getting in the results, DB.
yeah.
She does not send out that
Yes,
information.
exactly.
FYI to people that are listening and wondering if this is legit. Nope.
All right. Is legit, not a bit. As far as game stacks this week, Tuttle, what are some of the games you're looking at?
Oh, I just got sidetracked by Devin saying Peter should ask for references, and I think that's actually a really good good idea. But yeah, game stacks. I mean, it's a lot of the same places we've already been looking. Pretty much any game Atlanta plays in shoots out. So if we want to do the Three Little Bears with Mitch Trubisky again this week, I think that's a fine stack. Seattle Dallas, I think, is going to be the Stone Chalk stack.
Stone Chalk.
I mean, it's tough to avoid some exposures there. Russell's going to cook. One of the stacks that I think is kind of interesting that I think is going to go under the radar a little bit is I think the Rams versus the Bills could actually shoot out a little bit.
That's my number one of the week.
Yeah, the total's already risen 2.5 points on that one. And I don't think there's going to be a lot of people targeting that game. They just see two teams that are pretty good.
Until they listen to the Swolecast.
Yeah, until they listen to the Swolecast. But yeah, I would say that's my kind of under the radar stack. Would be that game.
Pete, is the Seattle Dallas game? It's hard to keep a straight face with you with the not just the hard hat but also the mic. It looks like you're just really working hard over there.
You know how when people tell public speakers like if they're nervous on stage to just picture everyone in the audience like they're naked? Just picture that I'm Silva when you talk to me.
All right. I want to picture that you're Silva. Are you going back with the Seattle Cowboys game, or is that too chalky for you?
I think it's going to end up being too chalky for me. Last week in my single entry hand build, I didn't have any Cowboys or Falcons. Probably won't have too much Seattle, Dallas. I do like the Buffalo call. And I'm kind of interested in this Bengals Philly game too.
Lots of
Jalen
passes
Reagor we
between
can't
two
use.
bad QBs.
Wait, why can't we use Reagor?
He's out now for
torn thumb
weeks.
ligament. Yeah,
Dude, when did this happen?
He was going to be my terrible take too. I'm not going to lie. So now I'm scrambling a little bit here.
Is this like in the past hour?
Yes,
yeah.
Within the past few minutes.
That's awful.
FF Pete C not grinding hard enough.
I grind
Oh,
too worried about the bits. That's why he needs. What's the guy's name?
What's Jalen Reagor? The hits just keep coming.
The lineup seller. What's his name?
Mike.
Mike.
Is it Mike Concho?
So well, as far as the Colts go, you mentioned Pittman, but I like that for a stack for some of the other options as well. We'll talk about that later. We do have our DraftKings lineup that we're going to get to right after we talk about quarterbacks.
Our cash team.
Yeah, we also didn't mention Detroit, Arizona, which is also going to be chalk.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the Detroit side, though, actually, just if I can make this point real quick, I actually think the Stafford, Marvin Jones, TJ Hawkinson, Galladay grouping as bringbacks and stuff, they're going to be like all sub 10%. You know, the hand builders, they get in, they see the game logs, they're middling at best, and they move on.
What's
you're
Christian
taking
Kirk's
a shot at
percentage?
the hand It's below the belt.
What's Christian Kirk's percentage this week?
Pete, speak for the people.
What do I think his ownership projection is going to be?
Oh, yeah.
Well, so last week in an incredible spot in the SPY, he was only 9%. He's going to be less than that. I bet he's 5 or 6% this week.
No Ravens, no Chiefs this week. Yeah, I don't know. People might be playing more of him. Let's talk about quarterbacks. Kyler, is he
3
just
points better than everyone?
Is he who we wanted him to be last year, this year? Like, just play Kyler every week?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. What are some other options outside of Kyler being just the chalk, the top play?
Well, I want to throw this one to Tuttle. Do you actually think that in a weird way, Dak scoring all the rushing touchdowns last week makes him less popular of a play because he's just like a little bit more tilting to stack? Like, you do think that it's like Russell Wilson is 18% owned in single entry stuff, and then Dak is like 11% owned? Like that's kind of the way I see it breaking down, where people would just rather play Kyler, people would rather play Russ. And because there's kind of the whack-a-mole factor with Dallas guys right now, that he ends up being the lowest owned of that tier.
Yeah, I do think he's the lowest owned of that tier. I don't know if that's the reason for it, but yeah, I do think.
I mean, there's a lot of reasons for it. I'm
right.
Sure.
I think he'll be. Do you think Russ or Kyler will be number one? I think that's
Kyler for sure. Kyler,
so.
No, I mean, dude. Pete, speak for the people, but
I think it's probably going to be Kyler.
Look at the game logs, dude.
Then we're gonna get the Kenyon Drake final explosion game.
Yeah, Kenyon Drake like 24 DraftKings points this week.
Shades of last year. Tuttle, you had Carson Wentz. I'm giving away your play, but you have Carson Wentz as a potential value play on DraftKings and our lineup HQ.
Yeah, might have to change it without Rager. No, I don't think it. I guess it doesn't matter all that much. He's going to throw the tight ends. He's going to throw to Deshaun anyways.
Djax.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like if you're going under that 6K, which is kind of what I would classify as value on DraftKings, you're kind of stuck with Wentz. You're stuck with Trubisky. I think those would be the two. Not tagging Tannehill. Sorry, Kitchen. That's just not going to happen. But of Wentz and Trubisky, I like the game environment actually for Chicago Atlanta better, but I like Wentz. I think it's a pretty solid bounce back spot, and I also think it's a pretty solid leverage spot for him. I think Miles Sanders is going to be really chalky this week, so I like the idea of running Wentz out there in tournaments with, again, one of his tight ends or Deshaun Jackson or a double stack, just because I think it creates nice leverage off of Sanders.
What about Cam?
He is projected for a whole lot of points too. I mean, he is accounting for 38% of the Patriots' rushing attempts through 2 weeks. And, to give people a concept of just how much that is for a quarterback, that would be more than Lamar last season accounted for the Ravens. Like it's an absurd amount of a run heavy team's rush attempts.
Yeah. Thoughts on boots on the ground, Pete, with Cam Newton?
Yeah, it does seem like he would be a good tournament pivot off of Kyler for $100 less. And the other kind of interesting development in that offense is they're now using Julian Edelman downfield. Like his air yard share is actually pretty impressive. It's not just the dink and dunk. So between Edelman and Harry, who is, keeps emerging a little bit more each week.
Well, he's so slow. He has to be the dink and dunk guy now because he can't get down the field.
Harry is the new Edelman, and now Edelman is the burner.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does seem like last week their third projected pass catcher was Ryan Izzo. So it's like it's a pretty concentrated pass game if you do want to use Cam with that double stack.
The only thing with that game that I'll say is I think you could find a very limited plays. I think it's going to be a pretty slow paced game. So I mean,
not like the Seattle explosion game.
Right. There's just so many other games that you're going to get plays out of that. I don't know if you'll get it out of New England and Las Vegas.
Tuttle, I did hear on the Gilcast that Davis did give you credit for the take about Kyler Murray rushing because of that front Washington defensive line. He called it a hand in the dirt take.
Hand in the dirt. And the thing is, I don't know if that take would hold true this week, right? Because Detroit has one of the worst pass rushes in football.
Well, yeah, I'm talking about Baker this week against Washington.
Oh, Baker's not fast enough, bro.
Yeah, no. Baker's not fast enough.
Skip this take, bud.
Yeah,
he's going to scramble.
Hey, sit the next couple ones out. We know. All
right, I guess I should get my Chargers Panthers game stack take then.
I will say though, if we're talking about Cleveland real quick, I was going through the lineup HQ again for Yahoo pricing. Minimum price on Yahoo is $10. Kareem Hunt is somehow $13 on Yahoo, and I was trying to figure out why.
Look at us, Davis giving FanDuel takes
on Yahoo.
On Yahoo.
I thought it was kind of, it stood out to me.
That is good.
Crazy what touting will do to you.
Let's do our DraftKings lineup, and I know that none of you guys presented some sort of thing, so we're gonna do a little bit different. I was gonna let Pete pick the style of lineup that we do, whether it be game stack or some sort of strategy.
Dude, if you remind me like 15 minutes before the show starts, I will be ready. It's just,
how about you just put on your hard hat, grab your whiteboard, and be ready for the show that you get paid for once every 2 years.
When I remember to submit my invoice. Great reminder to do it today, actually.
Dave sprung it on us last week and I wasn't ready. Oh, what does butterfly mean?
This is the only, I don't know. This is the only piece of paper I have by me that I can hold up.
It's like one of those eye games where you start really close and when you pull back, you see Deshaun Jackson.
There you go. All right. Deshaun Jackson it is.
Yeah, D-Jackson's going. All right, Pete, what do you
D-Jack stack?
Pete, what do you have?
Well, Davis did mention this guy, but I said KJ Hamler in a Swolecast cash lineup GPP. 3,000, right. The Stone Min, if you will. And having been
Stone Min, bro.
Having been
How many times
go ahead.
How many times will Stone Min be said on DFS podcast in relation to KJ Hamler this week?
Too many times. That's why you need your hard hat when you're working around all that stone, Davis.
All that chalk. All right. So we got Hamler. Davis, who do you got?
I would just like to take Logan Thomas, please.
Okay.
All the value plays.
All right, Tuttle.
When's Deshaun Jackson stack?
Let's do it.
Deshaun Jackson and cash?
Yeah, of course.
The Swolecast cash game lineup has the ethos of a head-to-head GPP lineup.
Yeah, very similar roster construction thought points.
Kitchen, what's your pick?
We're gonna have to. Well, my pick was gonna be Curtis Samuel, but
we have to spend some salary.
If we do that.
Kitchen has already thought to himself, Curtis Samuel plays like a running back like 6 times this week.
We could get 4 running backs in this lineup if we play Curtis Samuel.
All right. Well, let's go. Then let's go. Not Curtis Samuel. Let's go with DJ Moore.
Yeah, that is the correct take.
I do have a question, strategy-wise. Is there more merit to leaving salary on the table this week?
No.
Than most weeks?
Tuttle.
In head-to-head GPPs?
Yeah, in head-to-head GPPs.
I mean, I always run in my optimizer. I always run max salary at 49.8 anyway, but
49.8?
Mm-hmm.
When I'm hand building my Swolecast listener league lineup, which is up now 200 entries, $5, total prize is $900. I set a
not rake free
mental hand build rule to leave $5,000 salary on the table just to make sure I'm not duplicated in the contest.
It's a good. It's a good thing. All right. So Pete, you're up.
Tuttle. Oh no.
It's Overzet. But if we put like a 2K defense in, we got $8,066 per spot.
So we're gonna jam some studs.
Yeah, we're gonna spend up on defense.
All right. Let's play Jonathan Taylor versus the Jets.
Yeah, Lock City.
All right, I'm gonna go now just so I can get this take in.
Mute him, Devin.
Me.
Mute him.
Actually, no, we're still left with too much salary. I was gonna go with the AJ Green bring back, but we still.
I thought you were ready to say bounce back spot. Derrick Henry catches 5 passes this week,
and I thought it could have been Adam Humphries, honestly, too.
Yeah, let's go with the big dog, Derrick Henry. That gives us enough salary for Zeke or Hopkins or Dalvin. So that's good. All right. Like Pete said, we do have our listener league. We'll give our disclaimers up next. Pete, what's the latest on, before we move to running back, what's the latest on the lineup seller?
Yeah, so I did take producer Devin's suggestion and I asked for some references. I said, I just want to make sure you have a proven track record. He sent me back a screenshot from the Monday night showdown. Smart on him. I did say I want a showdown lineup. He entered $67 worth of contests and profited $124.25. So I'm convinced. And now I'm just trying to get his Venmo so I can pay him on the spot after seeing this testimonial.
Keep us updated, please. We want to see what this lineup is. We should put our Swolecast cash lineup versus his and see which one does better next week. All right. Running backs. We've got expensive running backs. We've got not quite as expensive running backs. We've talked about it a little.
Will you say that again, Dave? We have expensive running backs and not expensive running backs?
Not as expensive running backs.
That's
it's
true
not even
of all
about that. Yeah. I want to know Davis's take on Leonard Fournette this week.
What?
Fournette.
I mean, I guess someone else can play him. I really didn't think we'd be starting the running back conversation with like the 19th best value on the board.
Well, I just thought
there were like
he
actual good plays this week, bud.
After he
took
took over
Ronald
that
Jones dig in
that spot last week, I thought you might want to tell the spot.
Brady fumbled it. Jalen Richard fumbled it. Brady fumbled it.
That Jalen Richard fumble was tilting. All right. What are some of your running back takes, Tuttle?
Yeah, so we mentioned some of them. I think Miles Sanders is going to be chalky. Kenyon Drake is for free on FanDuel. He's only 6,500 on FanDuel. I think you play him there. You can play him on DraftKings, though, too. He's only 6K on DraftKings. I think the interesting question, well, he's a free square on FanDuel, but the interesting question on DraftKings, I'm playing him, and I'm planning on blocking him in. Jonathan Taylor, it's an absolute nut spot for him. We know he's going to handle the majority of running back touches in a positive game script, which we would expect against the Jets. My question to you guys, I guess, is do you think people will be like, I could have got this guy for 2K less last week. Why am I paying 7K for him this week? Or are people actually going to play him?
100%. And I think he only caught one pass. And yeah, I mean, just like we've seen this happen in DFS a quadrillion times where a guy is mega chalk. He has a fine game, not bad, not great, is in a similar spot the next week and ends up being 20%, 50% discounted in terms of ownership. Like he is the absolute A1 top jam 5-star gold lock play of the week.
Yeah, you should be encouraged if you played him last week.
He got 29 touches. Yeah.
Even at 7K, you should be really excited to play him against the Jets.
Yeah.
And I would normally try to play the other side of it and be like, Nyheim Hines wasn't used because they were smashing the whole game, but they're playing the Jets.
They're playing. They're playing. Yeah.
I don't know. The Jets are talking about going into hyperdrive, though.
Yeah, what does that look like?
That's what Adam Gase shifting it from second to third gear.
Yeah. What is hyperdrive when you talk about that Jets offense? Yeah. Other running backs that you like. I mean, Zeke. You've got Miles Sanders, Zeke. You've got Taylor. You've got Kenyon Drake that we've talked about. There's a ton of running back takes. This seems like last week with the wide receivers almost.
And Zeke could have swapped scores with Dak last week, basically.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He could add 35.
I want to ask Tuttle this question. Is Jerick McKinnon a trap if both Mostert and Coleman are out, which it sounds like they will be?
I think he is, yes. I think Davis nailed it on top of the show. You're just not going to – he's not a guy that's going to see a role change. Like, he's a guy that
he's
coming off injury.
15% more, but not 50% more.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to get – I would easily take him for under double-digit touches in this game. Like, I think 5-ish targets and 5-ish carries is probably a fairly reasonable projection for him. But again, then you're talking about if that's what you're getting out of him, that's not enough really to justify the opportunity cost at the position.
Would you rather have
Gibson? I was just going to say the team's decimated, so it's not even like the same offense that you're plugging him into either.
Right.
Would you rather have Gibson or McKinnon, Tuttle?
I'm going to go with Gibson. I think it's close, and I think you could actually use.
Dude, the flop leg with Gibson week 2. I mean,
that's obvious though.
Yeah,
but I think you could almost use Overzet's argument for McKinnon if you wanted to say it's not going to be the same offense. If you think they're gonna, because they're down so many bodies, if you think they're gonna actually try quick passing more, which I think is actually reasonable, could be a reasonable assumption. If they're going to try to pass more quickly out of the backfield, then you would prop McKinnon up. I'm not sold on that being the case is what they're going to do. So I'm mostly avoiding McKinnon. I think you can make an argument for him. I don't think he's like a terrible play, but I don't think he's a very good play.
All right. What about the running back situation for the Rams? You've got Akers that has like separated cartilage, like rib cartilage. Like that sounds painful. Not as painful as someone puncturing your lung with a from a pain injection shot, but still separated rib cartilage sounds gross. And you've got, I think he's 52 or 5,400 as far as Henderson goes, 54. So on DK. So what are your thoughts about the Rams running back situation, Davis?
You probably hope that one of them is going to sit. Like you probably hope that Akers sits or that Brown sits. And I think Henderson, if one of them sits, is fully in play. I probably am too much of a coward to chase it if all three of them are active, even if it's like kind of an emergency active situation with Akers.
All right.
They do like this Xavier Jones guy, though, who made the 53-man roster over John Kelly.
Wait, Xavier, SMU?
SMU, yeah.
We're here from the DFS days. The college football DFS days. All right. Any other running backs you guys want to talk about? High price guys like Elliott or Cook, Jacobs?
What about
Carson?
Josh Kelly versus the Panthers? I mean, the Panthers look
on FanDuel, where it's about touchdowns.
I could see it.
Well, the thing is he's catching some passes too. It's not like he's just a total trap back. My take is that he's Melvin Gordon this year in that offense and is better than Melvin Gordon. Like I think his price is going to keep going up a little bit. So at 5,000 against the worst defense, I love that.
All right. Yeah. And on FanDuel, if you don't play Derrick Henry.
Oh, God.
The Derrick Henry flop leg, 3 touchdowns this week.
Derrick Henry is going to be in my cash game lineups
Kitchen
this week on FanDuel.
Are you worried about the double, triple, reverse leverage run bad spot where everyone thinks the Titans are the same team as last year? Everyone thinks the Vikings are the worst, and it's the letdown spot of all letdown spots?
No, I don't.
He's not worried.
Talk about games that could be ugly.
Yeah.
Dave, I thought your Henry take from Twitter was that people just don't understand that it's only D. Hember and he doesn't get going until then. So how are you playing him? And
he's still going to ramp him up. He's still going to ramp him up. I mean,
no, that's fair.
It doesn't matter.
Hey, Kitchen, you've been owned, bud.
Yeah,
you've been owned.
Just take the L.
You just got owned by facts and logic.
I just think that Derrick Henry on FanDuel is a good play.
You didn't do it right. You get it.
See, I don't think he's the lock though. I think in cash games it's pretty much Drake and Taylor, and then fill out your lineup from there. So if you have a spot for an expensive running back, you can play Henry. But
just real quick on the subject of cash games, I want to make this point that Adam Levitan made, and I want to parrot it because it's so beautiful.
I want to make this point that Adam Levitan
somebody else made.
Yeah, I would like to parrot.
Gets more downloads, but go ahead.
I'd like to parrot this, which is just like last week. I was so convinced everyone on DraftKings would have that same team, right? With Corey Davis and Logan Thomas or whatever the 3K. You guys know what I'm talking about. And like maybe 65 to 70% of people had it, but nowhere close to everyone had it. And it truly shocks me every time that people pay for the content and then they're like, I'm glad that I paid for this, but I'm going to play Zach Ertz in the flex. And it's just like, it's just incredible to me.
Davis being out of touch with the logic of hand builders once again. Tale as old as time.
Well, it's game selection too, right? Like I saw Blender. Had a good this morning.
Yeah.
About the difference between $100 single entry double up versus $5 single entry double up. Which is why if you have like $100 to spend on any given weekend, you do not just enter it in one contest. You spread it along
100%.
lower limit stuff. But like Darius Slayton was like 9.1% owned in the $5 single entry double up, 3.5% in the $100. And he goes on listing the discrepancies. So yeah, it's all about game selection too.
All right, let's talk about receiver. Do we have an update on our guy on the hook?
I haven't replied since he sent the screenshot.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to give him a holy shit, dude. Any other? Any other?
He might be in YouTube chat. Devin's saying.
Devin thinks he's in the chat. I think that guy just meant he's in the Swolecast listener league.
That's what I thought he meant too.
Yeah. Should I ask him if we could maybe talk in 20 minutes or so, 15 minutes?
Yeah. Definitely get him on the hook. Come take a seat. All right. Let's talk about wide receiver. You already talked about Edelman as far as new deep threat Edelman. Well, who are some of the other wide receiver plays that you like this week, Davis?
Well, DeAndre Hopkins is looking like he's looking like a whole snack. He is
a top five wide receiver this year.
Bad process.
Certainly better than a top 15 wide receiver. No doubt about it. So Hopkins has one of the most absurd projections I've ever seen, like 24 DraftKings points. And then, I think that Deontay Johnson at 5,400 going to be one of the biggest chalk spots of our time. I think that CeeDee Lamb at 5,400. I'm super curious to see how ownership stuff breaks down on Lockett and Metcalf at 6,500 and 6,400 on FanDuel. I wonder how many people play them both. I wonder how many people play them both without Russell Wilson. I think those are big discussion points this week.
Yeah. If you had to choose one, Tuttle, who would it be?
One high priced?
No, one Seahawks wide receiver.
Oh man, that's tough. I'll go Lockett, but I don't know. I'd have to look at individual matchups closer.
Okay. Davis?
I think Metcalf. I mean, I just think Metcalf is going to be. I just think he's. For sure. I mean, I just think he like we all were too low on him. Like I think he is such a stud.
Not me.
You could also
not
do
Kitchen.
You could also do the thing where you do Lockett on the PPR site.
No, I want the grown man
on FanDuel.
On FanDuel.
All right.
In a vacuum, I prefer Metcalf. I'll be curious to see how the ownership shakes out. I'd probably just play the lower owned of the two.
DJ Moore. Carolina's going to have to pass without McCaffrey. DJ Moore last week got some in garbage time, but you also have Robbie Anderson. Now you got Curtis Samuel talking about the potential running back or using him in a running back role. I think that was said over the summer, but what's your take on wide receivers for this Panthers team, Tuttle?
Yeah, that was over the summer, I believe. So I don't know how much stock I would put into that. But Panthers wide receiver is DJ Moore. It's the guy you want. I think people will still be buying Robbie Anderson, and I think it's not the end of the world. But it's not like this is some great spot for them. So I'm not really forcing them into my builds. But if I want exposure to one, it's DJ Moore.
Tuttle, what do you think about the take that DJ Moore actually is a big beneficiary of the McCaffrey injury because he is best able to replace a lot of those short area targets and they'll stop whoring themselves out to McCaffrey around the goal line. So he scores like 4 touchdowns a year only.
Yeah, I think you can make that case for sure.
What about some guys that didn't do good last week? I'm thinking in particular about Adam Thielen and T.Y. Hilton.
Dude, T.Y.'s dust.
But he dropped a wide open touchdown.
Yeah, because he's dust.
Because he's bad.
No, you don't just lose your hands.
No, he's dust,
that's
dude.
not the
you
part
actually
that becomes dust.
You actually do. Like you are old, so your brain does not work as well. It's
if
literally
he was faster,
how it works.
He would have been in a better spot to catch the ball.
Okay, well that might be true, but as far as like hands not working as fast as what they did last season, I don't buy it.
Well, also we have two games. The first game, Rivers locked into Paris Campbell. The second game, he locks into Mo Alley Cox. Like, he does not seem too interested in feeding T.Y. Hilton the ball.
We need who has the separation stats for T.Y. Hilton?
Next.
Where do I next gen? I'll go look it up.
Yeah.
What about Adam Thielen? I saw shout out to Ben Gretsch. He's got the Stealing Signals stuff. If you haven't subscribed to that, go do that. It's not Signal or Noise. It's Stealing Signals. At Yards Per Gretsch on Twitter, you can find it. But he said Adam Thielen's 289 air yards through 2 weeks are second only to AJ Green against this banged up Titans secondary who just gave up 30 points to Jacksonville last week. Thoughts on Thielen?
Seems
Davis?
fine.
I wish it was discounted a little bit.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like
he is kind of discounted on FanDuel. He's kind of
72, 69 on DraftKings. It's one of those things. It's like, do you want 40% market share on a team that's going to throw the ball 25 times, or do you want the 20% market share on a team that's going to throw 50 times? The Vikings have only ran 96 plays, I believe, 96 offensive plays so far this year, and they just don't want to throw the ball. Like, even when they're behind, it takes them a while to start throwing the ball. I think he's a fine play. It's a good matchup, but he's going to need volume eventually. We'll see if he gets it this week.
Davis,
yeah, another stat from Thorman for that being a low pace game, that they're averaging a league low 119 and a half plays. The Vikings are. So it's just like the games against them. And we know the Titans are willing to feed the big dog over and over if it's working. So this could just end up being kind of like a gross low scoring game.
92 plays is unreal, or 96 plays in 2 weeks is unreal. The Bengals ran 92 offensive
I mean, that's
plays
like what they want to do too.
Exactly.
Like that's like their plan.
Right.
All right. Any other hot take wide receiver takes from you guys before we move on?
I have one.
Go for it, Tuttle.
And Peter has to play this guy in the spy this week.
Okay.
This is the terrible take. He's more expensive, so I don't know if you guys will let it slide as the terrible take, but I hope you do. 6,300 DraftKings. Game that I talked about that I like is kind of a sneaky spot. Rams versus Buffalo.
I'll take the other guy versus this guy for sure.
Cooper Kupp week.
Ooh, I thought you're going.
Right, hey,
Diggs.
you're forgetting revenge game, bud. Revenge game. Robert Woods, Bobby Trees.
No, he's got the much. If you think defenses or matchups matter, Cooper Kupp has the matchup in the slot. Taron Johnson has been getting absolute dusted in the slot the past few games. I mean, he let up what's I don't even remember the guy. Who's the slot receiver for Miami now? Some terrible guy.
Jakeem Grant?
Isaiah Ford?
Isaiah Ford.
Please don't. Put some respect on Isaiah Ford's name.
He's letting Isaiah Ford hang numbers on him. He's letting other guys hang numbers on him.
Isaiah
it's a
Ford,
Cooper Kupp week.
Grown man.
Davis is just saying that
Cooper
because
Kupp
we're
week.
sitting next to him and his girlfriend in the post game.
One of my biggest memories from that whole experience, Pete, was that his girlfriend on her beanie had his number sequined on her beanie.
Ooh,
I just thought that was so funny.
Yeah. All right. Deontay Johnson, who everyone should have played over Kirk last week, has a lingering toe injury. Still should play, but any Juju love this week? Davis?
I mean, he seems fine. He seems like a good tournament play. Doesn't seem like a guy I would be playing cash at 6,600.
I guess there's just lots of tournament plays this week at wide receiver this week.
He's a leverage play.
I would play Cooper over him, but I guess because, I mean, he literally is actually Tuttle. Great point. Just he is in between Amari Cooper, DK Metcalf, and Tyler Lockett. So, like, he's like going to be like point. The hand builders will not be clicking Juju Smith-Schuster is the point there.
And the people that play Deontay aren't going to be.
Davis, have we seen – so Deontay Johnson has more targets, more catches, more yards than Juju. Have we seen the flippening, or is this noise?
I'll never waver. I can't waver yet after 2 weeks. Let's see, but I'm scared. I'm scared, Pete.
All right, let's go to FanDuel.com on FanDuel, and let's make a lineup. Tuttle, you go first.
On FanDuel.com, do we want to go a little chalky? We didn't go Taylor on DraftKings, did we?
I don't
No,
I
we
don't
did.
know what's going to be chalk this week, but We'll see.
I mean, we've been telling you what the chalk is for like 45 minutes now.
Davis, you don't know what chalk is if it hits you in the face, bud. On FanDuel, leave it to someone who's been
On
playing there
FanDuel
for multiple years. All right, Tuttle.
I'll do Taylor. Taylor Colts correlation.
I mean, just the FanDuel making Jonathan Taylor 6,700. It's just like, what's a guy got to do?
What you doing?
Davis?
I mean, at least they made CD Lamb $400 more expensive. Yes, Lamb.
Yeah. Going with the chalky stack. All right.
I don't think Lamb's going to be all that chalky, honestly.
No, he won't
chalky
be.
Stack. Yeah.
All right, if we're just all playing the best plays, I guess I'll put DeAndre Hopkins in.
Isn't that what hand building is all about?
This lineup's looking a little bit better than the DraftKings one.
All right.
You mean three volatile boom bust wide receivers doesn't make a good cash game lineup?
I'm going to go with Thielen.
Who's going to be the first to tout Braxton Berrios on this show?
Not me. Do we need a running back?
Yes.
Yeah.
And a quarterback.
I would like to tout Joshua Kelly on FanDuel.
Seems fine.
Yeah. The Opto Bros tout Kelly on FanDuel. The hand builders tout him on DraftKings.
Tuttle?
So here's where we need to get our stack in. What are we going to do here, boys? Oh shit! I got the real terrible take.
Here it is.
Falcons at 3,200 defense. Oof, man.
I got the real terrible take.
Okay.
Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins, Dan Arnold stack.
Andy Isabella.
Nope, Dan Arnold. Open, keeps the flex open. Flex open,
right,
baby.
Let's do it. Dan Arnold, 4,300. I didn't even know FanDuel pricing went that low.
Bo Alley Cox was legit 4K last week.
He was, yes.
And he still wasn't in the winning construction because everyone played Jonnu.
Davis is a FanDuel thought leader. Still
He
just
is.
shakes me to my core.
Just, FanDuel is where I really exercise my creative side with the hand building,
Not playing Jonnu or Hawkinson is donkey on FanDuel this week.
No. Kitchen, Logan Thomas literally leads all tight ends not named Darren Waller in target share.
Did you say Logan Thomas?
No, but you just said not playing Jonnu or Hawkinson is fish. And Logan Thomas
in this lineup we've got Kyler and Hopkins, and we could go.
Oh, I thought you just meant in general.
We also have Thielen that we could do the secondary stack with Jonnu. I don't know why we're forcing in the double stack with Arnold.
Here's what's happening, guys, is some of us are trying to make like a cash game lineup for the fans, and
Yeah.
Dave is trying to do this heavily correlated GPP lineup.
Yeah. Right. All right. We got tons of salary left.
I left you D. Hember if you want it, man.
Yeah. I mean,
He's a broken man.
why not?
December.
He just was looking at those 8.7 FanDuel points last week, just tilting his face off, like,
I actually wasn't, because I want this to happen because it gets people off of D. Hember.
Okay, no, because the masses, Kitchen, they literally think exactly like you, Ari, Derrick Henry.
Oh, you think that they're going to go back to the well this week? You think he's going to be chalk this week?
Not this week, but I think he will. You were not, Kitchen. You were not hoping to flop leg and play him this week. You're just like,
That was the thesis of the play.
That was the whole
It was
thesis,
a
Davis.
play.
It's not like they're going to be in 3 weeks.
I'm not indulging this.
It's not going to be like in week 5. They're going to be like, well, he did only score 8.7 in week 2, so maybe I should go back to him in week 5. No, people are not going to go right back.
No,
to him.
everyone's waiting for them to play the freaking Jaguars in December, dude. Like that's the Henry game plan.
We need
I'm
to
telling you,
show
he was a few shoestring tackles away from breaking some. I'm just going to tell you.
We should do a show that's spoof on Mindhunter, but it's like getting inside the mind of a hand builder and just everyone's opinion is how he imagines them. Kitchen, how he imagines.
Kitchen doesn't have to. Kitchen is like the fourth quarter showdown hand builder. Like he's the guy.
Yeah, flash drafts. I thought about this. Flash drafts are the most pure form of hand building lineups because you cannot use an optimizer in your flash drafts.
Have they been
Chris
getting
Carson,
easier?
I don't know. Chris Carson broke me though. Fourth quarter of that New England game though. The pass to him.
Can we talk tight end? I don't want to hear your
drafts
flash
are trash.
beats.
No, but it's like they're doing now. It's like pick one between like DeAndre Hopkins, Dan Arnold, and Joe Schmo. It's like they're so obvious now.
Yeah, but not
That's
if
why
you
Kitchen
choose.
likes it.
Yeah.
No, I don't like it this year. I don't but that's why people that do the like GPP play, some of them are winning. All right. Let's talk about tight end, Davis. You want to talk about tight end? Talk about tight end.
Well, I just find it interesting that Logan Thomas, what does this man got to do to get a price hike? He is $200 more expensive or $300 more expensive on DraftKings this week than he was last week, and he again is he and McLaurin have the same amount of targets, and Thomas has more end zone targets than McLaurin. Like it's nuts. Like Logan Thomas is this year's Darren Waller. Like I'm ready to say it.
Well, Darren Waller wasn't bad himself last week either.
He has a 38% target share of the Raiders offense. He's only 5,700 on DraftKings.
Tuttle, who's going to be tight end chalk?
I don't know yet. I don't know. It's a tough call right now.
You can spend up this week on you can get more balance in your lineup.
Right. It's an interesting construction.
So
do people go back to Herndon after getting burned? Same price?
No, I'm done.
No,
I'm done. If you want to get in the mind of someone who's been there with Herndon, I'm done. I'm out.
I'm here just looking at the blitz projections, and Cardi wants me to jam Braxton Berrios and Chris Herndon, and just
Hogan.
His jet stuff is he's got to fix it. It's not. He has Hogan projected for 14 FanDuel points. It's just not. It's not updated.
Yeah, he had Hogan projected as the 9th best flex play on the slate. Raw projection. Chris Hogan season, baby.
So, you've got like Waller 5.7. You've got, people are not playing this guy this week, but he might. Zach Ertz 5.1. This might be the lowest he's been in a while. And without Rager,
I gotta look numbers at him. What's target share like been for Ertz?
20% and 22% for Goddard. He's ran more routes and been in for more snaps, but he's targeted at a lower average depth of target.
Wait, were those Goddard's or Ertz's numbers?
Ertz, more snaps, more routes, lower average depth of target, higher catch rate for Goddard. Goddard's caught like 77% of his targets or something, and Ertz is at 51%.
Will we see a time this season when Goddard's more expensive than Ertz?
Yes.
I could see it. Yeah. Maybe the answer this week without Rager is play both.
That's the Galaxy Bring double stack there for tournament.
You need a hard hat on for a take like that.
You're certainly, I don't know if you're going to be able to get your fancy optimizer to do that one for you. I think you might have to go in by hand and get that done.
That's right.
I don't think he'll be chalk, but I want to know if AJ Brown does not play, which I don't think he will play.
Nope. You can have your fill.
You have zero interest in Jonnu after I've been telling you what they're doing. Like you've got Arthur Smith, the offensive coordinator, who wants to get him the ball.
Do I have interest in the tight end who is more expensive than Logan Thomas, who's on a team that just threw 21 forward passes in a game? David Kitchen, I do not.
You like Logan Thomas in that Washington offense.
And Waller.
Yeah, I could understand Waller, but like Jonnu Smith without AJ Brown, you've already said
I'm also not going to play what's his face?
Corey Davis?
Tannehill at all.
Tannehill. Yeah.
So
you've said that Corey Davis sucks. That's what you said on the Gilcast. You say that Derrick Henry sucks.
I don't think I've said Derrick Henry sucks.
Well, you have.
I maybe have implied it.
you were pretty ticked, and I think you were doing it just to get a reaction out of me, like you were venting on Sunday, so that I would like feel hurt because of the venting that you did, but I didn't
Had you said something negative about your Tennessee Titans or Derrick Henry, that would have I would have felt better. You're right.
Yeah, but I just think that he is one of those tight ends that are in a good spot this week. Hashtag good spot when there's not a lot of receiving
over under
elsewhere.
80 total plays run in this Titans Vikings game.
We got preliminary ownership projections up during the show from Jamino here. Logan Thomas, highest owned, followed by Waller, Hurst, but Hurst pops every week in those. I don't think he'll probably get bumped down a little bit. So Johnny is not popping yet, but I think we'll have to.
I wonder if
Kitchen's ready to get rich. Then
I think he will see ownership though. I do. Johnny will.
Yeah. All right. Overzet, what's our guy saying about tight ends this week?
We hit a hard wall. He said, "Ask away, but I'm at work. I can't talk on the phone." Might have to. It's a real bummer.
Should have asked if he was a pro. I thought you were a pro.
All right, I'll get you with that.
You should say. You should say. I thought you were a pro.
I can't buy lineups from someone who doesn't do it full time.
Yeah.
You said I thought your job was DFS.
Oh gosh, that's gonna be good. Hunter M in chat is really displeased with your guys' Jerick McKinnon projections.
I saw that, and talk about flop lag on that displeasure there.
Yeah, I know.
What's he saying?
He says, laugh my ass off at McKinnon projections here. How much read did you have last week? Hashtag chump. I don't know what having Reed has to do with McKinnon's projection this week.
Because we're buying the idea that, first of all, the coaches haven't said anything about McKinnon.
Davis is buying it. I think I'm higher on JMK than you guys are, because I'm just a JMK truther. And I am a
JMK truther. The returns have been great early. The other thing is this team that they've been talking about how this MetLife turf is terrible, and they're likely not going to play Jimmy and Kittle this week because they're so tilted about the turf. Doesn't seem great to expose Jerick McKinnon to this awful stadium.
Let's get the guy coming off ACL surgery. That's our third
buddy,
down.
2 ACLs.
No, you don't know that
let's grind him on that turf.
You don't know that he's just the third down back. He scored a touchdown in each of the first of his 2 weeks.
I think that Jerick McKinnon is amazing, but the team views him as a third down back via the snaps he's played.
Davis, you know what's crazy is we had a literal boots on the ground, hand in the turf at MetLife Stadium. I mean, how did we not have a take on the quality of that
Oh
turf?
My gosh. You're right. Missed opportunity. That could have been a whole bit for you.
Davis doing snow angels in the MetLife.
I mean, you think about this, the Nick Mullins, pair him with Brandon Ayuk and Jerick McKinnon.
Stop the show.
And just
we're
out
of here.
FanDuel.
on Yahoo, Nick Mullins is the
trap where you get a 49ers boost.
On Fantasy Up, where if you own the site, you can play on your own site.
You're going to play that in your Accuracy Cup contest, Dave, just to get leverage on the field.
Man, after 2 weeks, after Soccer Dad is hurting, not repping Archie well at all. All right. Any thoughts on defense? Tuttle, you've got a Yahoo defense.
I do have a Yahoo defense play.
Because the Buccaneers are minimum price.
The top projected defense of the week is minimum price on Yahoo. Go ahead and play the Tampa Bay Bucks on Yahoo. They're actually really egregiously priced on FanDuel as well.
FanDuel. On FanDuel.
All right.
Yeah, I mean it's actually a really tough week for defenses. Like there's none that like stand out except for the Bucks at 3,800 on FanDuel.
Falcons on FanDuel also feels just take it and build around it. Defenses don't matter. His
lineup seller is basically about to send me his W-2 from his day job. He says DFS is a side hustle and a damn good one, but I'm not a pro yet. I make $50K a year at my 9 to 5, then $30K a year from DFS.
Wow. He's rich, dude. He's 50K.
Rich. All right.
50K, dude.
Want to say thanks to everyone that has subscribed. We need a few more subscribers.
We talking sous chef money for this guy.
Davis, no salary shaming in this economy.
Wait, I missed it. How much does he make? I was
50.
busy by. Oh shit, dude.
All right,
Dave, we are 5 subscribers away. We need to get.
Yeah, we got to get 5 subscribers. We got to. This show is too good to be not.
It's too good.
That's okay.
Hang on. Why we get that? I do want to can I lead everybody in a little hand exercises here? Why we get these last 5 subscribers. I want to make sure you guys are ready to build later this week here.
All right.
Oh, what do you, Tuttle? You got the stress?
I got the gripper for. I found it somewhere. Nobody plays the guitar. I think it's for guitars, and you can do the individual fingers.
Davis, stop doing a million tests. I want your hands up here. I want the hands.
Dude, I'm trying to get bids. I'm trying to get bids ready, bro.
No, Davis, put your hands up here. Then put the pinkies up.
No, I'm already done.
Actually, no, sorry. Put the hands down and the pinkies up. This is the steeple. Open it up. There's all the people. Now you're ready to build a cash game lineup.
All right. That was way more appropriate than I thought you were going to go with the hand exercises. No, don't. I don't know why I'm covering my webcam.
You're lucky I don't have a zipper on my pants. Otherwise, we'd get
We've got to give our plays for the listener league as far as our qualifiers. But before we do that, I do want to thank everyone that has left comments, especially on our iTunes channel. This was from William Wallace. Entertaining with some actual value. Longtime listener, first-time smasher of the 5-star button. Feel like this is the best Swolecast crew yet. It's been a blast to watch Davis progress from striving to be cool millennial to slightly comfortable with himself enough to poke fun at his own douchery. If any of these guys was famous, this would be the entourage of NFL DFS podcast. And yes, that is meant to be a compliment.
Guys, we hit 1,000 subscribers. Streamers, come down, Devin.
All right. So let's give our qualifiers. Davis, who do you got?
KJ Hamler.
Hamler. Real original. Taking Tuttle. Just give your terrible take. And
Cooper Kupp.
All right. That's your terrible take?
Yep.
So Cooper Kupp. You want to be a little bit more original, a little more flexible this time, Peter?
I will practice what I preach this time. Let's see who can win the listener league with 2 Jets in their lineup.
2 Jets.
And Jet McKinnon does not count as one of them.
Oh, it should.
Okay, the Jet theme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can play Jet. See, that's what I'm talking about. All right. And then I will go with, you have to play these 3 guys. Henry, Thielen, and Hilton.
I thought you were going to say Henry, Jonnu, and Ryan Tannehill.
No.
You wanted to.
Henry, Hilton, and Thielen. I'm just giving people the recipe for success. All right. That will do it. Closing thoughts. Pete, do we have anything else from our guy?
Yeah, don't listen to kind of the gaslighting that Davis is trying to do about how I build my showdown lineups. I do these bad boys with my bare hands. I crack my knuckles. I get to work really early each day building hundreds.
How much would you have to be paid to build 60 showdown lineups by hand just for a bit? Would you do it? Would you literally record yourself doing it, put it in fast motion just for a bit?
When you look at my ROI these days, it's a pretty good hourly return.
Even the hourly on winning 3K of building 60 lineups by hand would be terrible.
In my mind, I won 25,000 on Monday. That's kind of how I'm playing this.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's fair then.
Also, Thursday night, the Showdown King, Laviska Shenault versus Patrick Laird. I mean, it's go time, baby.
All right. Tuttle, closing thoughts?
Cooper Kupp, 10 catches, 150 yards, and a touchdown.
Okay. Davis?
Just don't be a donkey and lower your Jonathan Taylor exposure from last week. He's the best play of the slate on FanDuel and DraftKings.
And Yahoo.
And Yahoo DFS and Super Draft.
I just want to thank everyone for subscribing, smashing the like buttons. And I just want to say, to all the grinders out there, I appreciate you. You know, I went into the show thinking that we would out Matt Lewis, whatever his name is. And then I find out this guy is just a grinder like one of us.
He is. I literally just got a message from him. He goes, stick to single entry and 50-50 contests doing the 80-20 rule and you'll be very profitable. I mean, this is a grinder at heart.
What's the 80-20 rule?
We'll see. Let's see what his lineup is.
Davis doesn't even know the 80-20 rule. Wow.
Is that 80% of your action in cash, 20% of your action?
You don't know Pareto's principle? Come on, bro. Read a book. All right.
This guy's so out of touch with the DFS populace.
Yeah, I just want people to know that there are guys out there making $50K a year, $30K on the side that are grinding, hustling, wanting to do this full time. And that could be you too. So tune in next week.
Pete. Yeah, slide Pete DMs
to the grinders.
To the grinders. All right, that will be it. Hand built tough. That's a Swolecast. We'll see you next week, week 4 here on rotogrinders.com.